Detroit Den 313. We are back today. I'm excited, man. I was kind of in a panic, but I'm excited. But before we talk, let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Steve, we are so close to 2K. I can just sniff that 2K. It's just right around the corner, man. Just help us out, guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you don't miss the content. Steve, talk to the people.
Listen, first and foremost, got to do a disclaimer. This episode is purely for fun. It's what if. There's no legs behind this. This is just, maybe we're greasing the tires for something maybe later down the road, but I don't have a lot of faith in this happening. But I've seen some reports this year that the Jets are not happy with Robert Saleh, with how committed he's been to Zach Wilson, kind of put a hindrance on the team. I want to know if the Jets move on from Robert Saleh, could we bring him to Detroit to become our defensive coordinator? How would you feel about that?
First things first, we have a defensive coordinator. I want to say that. So
Do we? Do we
we
though?
do. We have a defensive coordinator. So let me put the disclaimer out there. Aaron Glenn, AG, baby, I don't want to disrespect you. If something happens and you move on to greener pastures, now, would I love to have Robert Saleh in the building? The pride of Dearborn Fortson, the Michigan man, the guy that was standing on the sidelines looking like Buff Bagwell when he was with the 49ers, and that defense was rocking. Yeah, I would absolutely be drooling over Robert Saleh being on that sideline and being our DC. I would love to have it. And then if something happened and AG was still in the building, I would love to have him as a defensive consultant, a senior analyst, whatever you want to call it. Just get the guy in the building. Maybe he can run the D behind the scenes, whatever you want to call it, some Dom Capers type stuff. Let's do it. How you feel about it?
Listen, I don't hate Aaron Glenn. I don't love Aaron Glenn. He's just kind of, it's Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
If we could get Robert Saleh, and again, speculation, I give this like a 10% chance of happening. I think if the Jets just completely shit the bed the rest of the year, they might be able to have a conversation. But what's going to save them is Aaron Rodgers coming back possibly and playing into next year. I think they'll give Saleh one more chance. But I have seen a lot of reports, like I said, that Jets fans are not happy with how loyal he was to Zach Wilson, who was, in my opinion, costing them games with just terrible quarterback play, and they're wasting an absolutely elite defense. If the Detroit Lions had the Jets defense, buddy, we'd be probably undefeated at this point, just being honest.
There's only one thing more loyal than Robert Saleh is to his quarterback. His quarterback to those Cougars. Period. That's it, man.
Zach likes to lay that hammer down.
Listen, we already know how the NFL works. When you become a head coach, you either got to deal with the quarterback that's there and then eventually inherit your quarterback, or you can become the guy and then go get your guy. He became the guy, and then he went and got his guy, and his guy, unfortunately, has been a bust. When your guy has to exit stage left, you got to exit stage left. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes, man. So while I appreciate the disclaimer, because we know we have to do that here at Detroit Den 313. We're tried and true now. We're no longer rookies, and we know what the backlash is going to be if we don't put it out immediately. But I will say this. I don't think it's as far-fetched as you're putting out in the beginning, man. I think that Robert Saleh, I don't think that he's in a blazing hot seat.
You think he's in a little trouble?
That seat is warm.
All right, let me ask you a question real quick.
Talk to me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is that seat?
I'd just say it's warm. So a scale of 1 to 10, I think it's a 6.
A 6? That's pretty hot. That's pretty. You can make some moves at 6. I think I'm at like a 3.
You think his seat is only at a 3?
Yeah, only because of Aaron Rodgers. They're going to give him another run with Aaron Rodgers, I believe. I just think that I think the Jets could have made some noise if they had better quarterback play. I think that's what's going to save Saleh. Like I said, this is just a fun little, what if type thing. I don't think he's in any trouble. I think he will be back. But I'm saying, if you're right, if he's at a 6, and the Jets organization isn't exactly like a model for success, let's just be honest, right? Neither are the Lions. We're not throwing any shade. We've been better lately, but the Jets aren't exactly who you want to go to for, how to build a successful franchise.
No, I agree.
If they decide to move on from Saleh, I don't care if Aaron Glenn's still here. I might hire Bob Saleh, have him come in and fire Aaron Glenn. That's how willing I am to go get him.
Yeah, I'm not going to disrespect Aaron Glenn, man, and what he's done. here and his loyalty. I don't want to set that type of precedent. I just think you get him in the building and you set up the opportunity for it to happen organically. But I'm not gonna just fire Aaron Glenn.
I'll
Now,
help him pack.
yeah, I was just about to say, I already know if Robert Saleh gets
I
fired,
might move Salah into AG's house.
yeah, I already know you're gonna be calling me like, hey man, Detroit Den 313 moving company is just got a call.
Yeah, we're
We gotta go
expanding
do some
business.
work.
We're now the Stephen Wills moving buddies.
Right. I already know what you would be doing, but I'm not that fast to do it, man. Now, if you're asking me if I had to choose between the two, it's Robert Saleh all day. It's Robert Saleh all day. But I'm gonna respect my guy, AG. I mean, by my guy, I mean kind of like Jared Goff is my guy because he's my quarterback currently. So he's my guy. But if I got another quarterback that I can get my hands on, I'm gonna get him in the building. But he still has to prove himself. So we get Robert Saleh in the building. Then if we have some struggles or we got to make a move, or if somebody else wants to make him a head coach or whatever, then we got Robert in the building. We got him back home in good old in the mitten.
I'm glad
And
you brought up to him being possibly a head coach somewhere else because I think most of the time, not always, but most of the time, when a coordinator gets fired or a head coach, I'm sorry, gets fired, they kind of have to step back, kind of rebuild that resume, come
yep,
become a defensive or offensive coordinator again. Look at Dan Quinn for the Cowboys, defensive coordinator there. He was
yep.
head coach of the Falcons. They shit the bed in the Super Bowl. He had a couple rough seasons, got fired, reestablished himself with the Cowboys. Probably going to be a hot name this offseason. He'll probably be a head coach again. I kind of see Robert Saleh taking that same path again if the Jets let him go, which I think they would be stupid to. And real quick, I just think Robert Saleh, when he was head coach or when he was defensive coordinator of the 49ers, elite defense. Now they have some guys, lots of guys. They have some names, but he was a player's coach and he was a guy I kind of wanted in Detroit. We went with Dan Campbell. He wanted to go to New York and get the shiny lights and all that, be under the spotlight. I think Detroit would be a perfect place for him to rebrand himself if this goes the way we're talking.
Steve,
Talk to me.
I want you to use your imagination right now.
It's very, very active
Vivid,
imagination.
vivid imagination. I know you have thinking about me at nighttime.
Oh
Anyways,
God.
um, think about a sideline, man. A sideline with Dan Campbell and Robert Saleh on it. The presence
Scary.
of that sideline alone.
Yeah, it would be like I think Robert Saleh is the perfect defensive coordinator for a Dan Campbell personality.
Man,
Like I think that's a 10 out of 10 match right there.
it makes too much sense.
I think Dan will just says, "Hey, Rob, this defense is yours. I'm not even going to touch it. Do your thing. I'm going to focus on the offense,
Listen,
some other stuff. I know I don't have to worry about defense with Rob Saleh. I think that
defense
would
is
take
no longer a thing.
yeah. And again, in San Francisco, he had some guys. In New York, they've got some guys. I think if Brad Holmes, if he does what we've talked about, making our weaknesses strengths with Robert Saleh, nasty. We could have a nasty defense.
Yeah, man, that's dream scenario, and I don't think the dream is too far fetched. Like I said, I think that his seat is. I'm not going to say that it's blazing hot, but I think it's definitely warm out there in New York. Um, he's he's completely dependent on a 75-year-old quarterback coming back. I
And a
even said
questionable
that
surgery
when it
too that
first
we
happened.
haven't really, we don't really know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers with that surgery. It's never been done before.
When they started committing all of these resources and they started bringing in his guys, his receivers.
Randall Cobb, at Lazard, like
Yeah, it's like, man, it was just too much to me. It was too much, and I said, and maybe I jinxed him. I don't know, but I said, man, what happens if this dude goes down and you got all the receivers that are on his same wavelength? You know what I mean? That know how he does his checks. That knows when he decides to throw that, backdoor ball. You know what I mean? That back shoulder. What like they know how he operates. What happens if he goes down? And that was the case, man. There was no plan B. The Detroit Lions, we got a plan B. Shoot, we got a plan B and a plan C, right? We got Hooker and we got Teddy Bridgewater if something happens right now. So part of being a good coaching and having a great organization is about having a plan A, B, C, D, because we already know, man, if Teddy Bridgewater goes down this year, they're calling me and I'm ready. I've been taking reps.
reps at what?
How to get to the
Foosball?
refrigerator.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know. I don't know if you're exactly in midseason form. Let me ask you a question.
Fire.
How much do you think it would cost to get Robert Saleh as a defensive coordinator?
Hey man, a blank checkbook.
Yeah, like I say, it's not my money. That money does not.
Excuse me.
Yeah, just trying to run a show here. That money does not affect the salary cap. Give him whatever he wants. He's a
Yeah,
local
I
guy.
don't
He's
even think
got
it would be
ties
too
to
crazy though.
Detroit.
He's coming home, man. He's
Yeah,
coming home.
I think that would be another big thing. Like close to home, right down the road from Dearborn, where he's from. He's got Michigan ties, Detroit ties. I think it would be a home run. But again, this is all for fun. This is all speculation. This is all what ifs. Until there's
But let me say
something.
this though. Let me say this. Just put Salah in the comments if you want him, because maybe you never know. Let him see the momentum that we got for him in Detroit. Just drop a little Salah in there if you like the
Love to
guy.
have him. So we've talked about it. In the comments, I asked a question. I asked Will 1 to 10, how hot is the seat in New York for Robert Saleh? Leave a comment, leave a number, have a conversation. Are we completely out of our minds? Is there a little traction here? I mean, I personally think he's safe for at least one more year. Now, if he comes back and gets Aaron Rodgers next year, 2024, and then they shit the bed like they are this year, then I think that seat's going to be really hot.
Listen, I need them to lose every game for the rest of the season and just get blasted.
I wouldn't be mad about it. I mean, like I said, 10 out of 10 home run, but that's way down the road. This is all just speculation. But sometimes speculation, doesn't mean that we're very, very far fetched because we've had some stuff out there. Remember we got nailed to the cross for that Dan Campbell to Texas A&M, and
Listen,
what did I tell you? They came a calling. That's all we were talking about.
yeah.
Texas A&M came and called Daddy Campbell. So we're not talking about this for no reason, fellas. That's all I'm saying.
I got one thing to say.
Talk to me.
We want Robert. We want Robert. Get him here, man.
Yeah.
Get
Hey
him here.
guys, that's it. That's it for tonight's show. Leave a comment. Like I said, 1 to 10. How hot do you think the seat is for Bob Saleh in New York? And let us know what you think about it. How you would feel. Grade the hire if we get to that part. Maybe we talk about that in a future episode. Breaking news: Detroit Lions new defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. I'd love
Maybe
to
we
have
have him
that
on the
episode.
show. Homecoming.
Why not? Hey, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We'll see you later, guys.
Peace.